Cookie, you got to start log into your computer WhatsApp, and you just click that shit.
It's too much work, man. It's too much work.
Welcome to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Varnum. Joining me today, as always, Cookie.
Yes, sir.
Tolbert.
Hello.
And Big Mike.
What's up?
Boys, we took a week off last week. It was the Super Bowl. It's a day full of events. So I was occupied from about 3 p.m. until when the Super Bowl ended, like at 10 at night. Probably got home about 10:30. So I wanted to take a day of relaxation. So we did not do our episode last week, and I apologize to all the loyal listener, and I, I apologize to anybody else that was really chomping at the bit for a new episode. But we are here. We're back. We're talking about Chris Jericho today. But first off, let's talk to our boys. What have y'all been up to this week, Tolbert?
Taking care of this baby. She's getting big and healthy and fat. Just being a family man, working a lot. Usually this time of year is like you save all year, all summer long for like this time of year, because it's usually, it's February, it's the week after Valentine's. But I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because everyone's been cooped up or just, I don't know what, man. But people have been coming out in force. So I was up till 5 a.m, dealing with the masses last night. But, I've just been working and holding it down. Family was in town a little bit this week, so hung out with them. Of course, it was a Super Bowl. Stopped by your brothers. That I had to go to work, but I popped in real quick just because I know how your brother and Julia get down. I have to say that spread was very disappointing to leave, to have to go to work. It was insane. I did partake though in a little bit, which halfway through my shift I was immediately regretting. But
did you have to poo mid-shift?
Oh yes. Oh yeah, dude.
Was it the Boston butt?
I don't know if it was the Boston butt, the steak nachos, the cinnamon pretzel, the hot cinnamon pretzel, the chicken wings, or the various dips.
It could have been the cheese ball, which I still have remnants of in my refrigerator. So
wonderful stuff. Bravo.
Yeah. When you said that your baby is getting fat, big, and healthy,
yes.
Does that mean those three things describe all of us, except for the healthy part? So when does that stop? When you're fat, big, when does that stop being healthy for a human being? Because I don't know if we're all healthy. Are we?
I don't know. I think maybe around age like 7. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't think age 7. I was the boy with titties when I was a child. So.
By the way, Varnum, you sent me. I haven't been active in the group chat much this week because I've been busy, but you reminded me of my youth, and I've been laughing about it all week. The meme you sent me of a young child dressed as a rodeo clown, asking for more quarters to play in the Thunder Rolls at Pizza Hut before the pizza comes. I swear to God, I've been laughing all week about that.
Well, that was our childhood, listening to various hits on the jukebox at the wonderful Pizza Huts. We had one here. I believe Travis brought it up, but low key, the greatest thing as a child was being able to go to the Pizza Hut buffet. Oh, yeah. It was a treat. My elementary school was within 5 minutes from a Pizza Hut. And when we would have half days, my mom would have to come pick me up from school. Same. And it was around lunchtime. And I'm like, Mom, I was really good today at school. Let's go to the Pizza Hut buffet. And she said, Aaron, okay, let's do it.
So I guess that's the point in our lives where becoming
correct
fat and, I don't know, becomes unhealthy.
It's when a young Aaron Varnum goes up to the Pizza Hut attendee who's probably stoned and ready to just get done with their thing and say, hey, mister, can you put more cinnamon pizza dessert pizzas on the buffet here? Can you do that for me, please? That's when it becomes unhealthy.
While in the background, thunder rolls. Who
the hell played that?
Strikes.
For the 15th time today. This guy who's obviously, he's not happy with his life, probably going through some marital stuff, and he's having to hear this all day. Thank you, Cookie. Cookie, you were not probably playing Thunder Rolls. Did you have a Pizza Hut existence as a child? I know you did. You probably read a lot of bookets to get those personal pan pizzas.
Yeah, I definitely had some Pizza Hut experiences. But my favorite was Chuck E. Cheese, of course.
You are a Chuck E.
I was a Chuck E. Cheese guy. I want you to know that I had like at least 5 pictures of me and my cousins in that little, that little buggy, that little thing that, what I'm talking about? You put your quarters in and it'll shake you a little bit. Yeah, me and my cousin took a bunch of pictures with Mickey Mouse, Chuck E. Cheese back in the day.
Now, when Mike was little, he tried to do their Bobo Ferris wheel that they do. Mike, were they able to lift you as a child? Your massive childlike legs that you had.
I never went to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid.
Wow.
How did you not go to? Did you not have one in Cleveland?
God damn it, Mike.
Or Youngstown?
We had one. I never went.
You never watched wrestling. You never went to Chuck E. Cheese.
What
the hell was wrong with your childhood? Was that satanic as well?
I rode my bike up and down my dead end street, and I went in the woods, broke sticks on trees. I mean, that was the life I lived.
Mike, it sounds like an episode of Stranger Things. It doesn't sound like you're like a good childhood. Did you hang out with any telepathic bald children?
No, just me and my buddies on the dead end street, middle of nowhere. If we got real spicy, we'd ride our bikes through the woods to the trailer park.
To do what?
Yeah.
Fucking hood rat shit with your hood rat friends.
He's throwing rocks at the poor people.
So we actually had before Chuck E. Cheese, we had this thing called Showbiz Pizza.
That's what I grew up on.
Which was Chuck E. Cheese, but it was with a different cast of characters. And the bear, there was a bear named Billy Bob, and he was a member of the this band, and they did basically the whole Chuck E. Cheese shtick, but it was this big goofy redneck bear. And that's what I grew up on here in Wilmington as well. And there are so many pictures so my brother would have, he's 9 years older than me. So he would have birthday parties at Showbiz Pizza. And there are probably 15 pictures of me having a panic attack meeting Billy Bob the bear. He was terrifying for me. It's this big, goofy, lovable bear. I was done. I was so scared of that bear.
Did you ever see him take his head off? Is my question.
No, I didn't have to. It was just too much for a young me to put up with. It was terrible.
The mouse just wears regular jeans. He's just wearing his regular jeans.
No, not Billy Bob. So that was Tolbert. Cookie, did you have anything going on this week?
Man, this week, yeah, we've got a bunch of snow. So I've been navigating the snow. I've been using what Mike has taught me, counter steering, different stuff like that. I'm starting to figure out this driving in the snow thing. I'm getting a little bit better.
You turn into the skid.
Yes, exactly. I almost did what I did, previously, but counter steered, got out of that thing, Let's see here. There's a full-on race war at school. Let's see.
What? Can you please elaborate?
Yeah, in the middle of Black History Month as well. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah, the irony is not lost on me.
Make a long story short, we were talking about the Brian Flores situation, and a young white lady took it upon herself to bring in the Jews and what they've been experiencing before the Brian Flores situation that finished its conversation. We had ended the conversation on that. So some people took exception to it. Basically, professors versus students. There's a professor that's Jewish as well. She took the back of the other person that's Jewish, and she basically is Black versus Jew right now. And we're trying to navigate this shit. We're trying to explain ourselves like we don't. This is not anti-Semitism. You know what I'm saying? We were just trying to finish our conversation. It's a whole thing right now. Let me just explain that. Yeah.
I just don't know how you jump from Brian Flores to Jews.
Yeah. Believe me. There's a
logical leap there that I too am missing.
A black NFL coach getting paid to lose games and getting blackballed and Jews. Like
the arrest of Jews. Yeah. Holocaust. It literally went from Brian Flores to the Holocaust. What? And I was like, well, this is taking a turn that it should not take. So yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah. Right now, we're trying to figure that out.
You have mentioned two things. Do you regret moving to Colorado at this point?
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've had I've had several conversations now with some second years that are white, and they were like, "Yeah, man, Denver's a racist ass city."
Yeah,
and I'm starting to realize that as well. So, boys. I'll probably be coming home sooner rather than later. I just want y'all to know that I got to get the fuck out of this goddamn city.
Is it Tennessee like blatantly in your face racism, or is it like just like polite racism?
It's no. It's a little bit in your face. There's a little here, but it's a little bit is in your face, man.
Cookie, no lie. The other day I had this guy at the bar was visiting from Colorado, asking me for recommendations and stuff. We got to talking. I was like, hey, a good friend of mine just moved to Boulder. He's like, man, fuck Boulder. He's like, man, a bunch of libtards there, man. He was like, it's too progressive for me, man. I hate it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go over here.
That's Colorado in a nutshell. Let me tell you, brother. And then let's see here. What else have I seen? This city is crazy, man. I saw a homeless guy get run over in the street the other day. I swear to God, this city is nuts. I swear to God.
Well then,
somebody come to the South, Cookie.
Bro, the car was taking a left turn, and it just fucking took this homeless dude out, man. And I thought he was gonna keep on driving, but luckily he stopped.
He thought about it. He was like, "Should I?" He thought about driving up.
He was having an argument with his girlfriend in the car. You could tell. He was just like, "Fucking, I should just keep driving." Dude,
so basically, it was one of those old like anti-weed videos that they would play, those public service announcements that they would have, and it's like, is this a sign while driving high is a bad thing? So basically you lived through one of those things. So you were probably were you high when you saw this?
No, actually, no. I was stone cold sober. I was actually on the way to go see Vince, who's in town. You guys know Vince, don't you?
Yeah,
Vince.
He plays with us now.
No, not that Vince. UNCW Vince, shorter guy.
Oh, we have the other Vince, who was also a UNCW Vince.
Yes, I apologize. I forgot that there was two, but we don't care about the new Vince though. Fuck him. Fuck De La Ghetto, whatever his name is. All
right. Mike, did you see anybody get run over? Did you eat pizza this week? What happened?
Honestly, my week was kind of lame. I would say I had to work the Super Bowl like the day of the Super Bowl. Got home, relaxed a little bit. Played a rugby game yesterday. Played 80 minutes. Hard-fought battle. We lost, but all things considered, I think we did okay. And it
was a moral victory.
There are no moral victories. There's winners and losers in this game, but there's some things to take out of it. That's for sure.
That we need more than 15 people to show up.
Yeah, it fucking sucks to play 80 minutes with 15 fucking people.
Hey, sorry about that. We could have had 16, but I was
don't get hurt.
Still in concussion protocol. So I will be ready for the next game. I'll be ready and willing to make tackles and do what I need.
He'll be chomping at the bit for the next home game.
It's next week, I think. No, it's in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So we will have some info about that. Hopefully, I will be able to play. It'll be good. Anything else? Oh, last night we celebrated the 35th anniversary of one of our listeners' parents, Panda. His parents have been married for a whole 35 years. So I was hired to do the photography and videography for this event. It's something that half of that is something that I'm comfortable doing. The other half scares me shitless. I am not a photography person. I am strictly videography, but I got to take some pictures last night. I looked through them this morning. I'm pretty proud of them. There's some great pictures of Big Mike and everybody else So there you go. We had a good time last night. Mike, you also got thrown up on. What happened there?
Well, I mean, just to give you a brief synopsis, I show up, meet up with some of the rugby guys after the anniversary party, and proceed to get a shot and a beer bought for us, like the whole group. And one guy takes the shot and just it was like in and out kind of thing, and just like goes down, comes back out, vomited on the floor and my arm. Was it a lot? It was a lot of liquid. Yeah. And so I think it might have been a volume thing. Like he just didn't have enough room in his stomach. And but got to keep the night rolling. So I just, wiped it off and moved about my day.
That's what you got to do sometimes. You got to throw up, you got to rally, and then you got to disappear from the bar. Let's hope that he had an Uber. So Tolbert, one thing that I did see in the past 2 weeks that I know you're very excited about, on the 1-year anniversary of the opening of the River Amphitheater that we have here, your boys are coming back for another 3-day stay.
Yeah, so I'm ahead of you on that. I saw that and I was like, "Ooh, okay."
Did you ask off for those 3 days to not see Wookiees?
No, I'll probably very much be working those 3 days. It's in May. May's busy as it is. Already we have Widespread Panic coming back to Wilmington, so I'm a lot more prepared though. You know what I mean? I know what to expect now, so it'll be less.
Stock the bar with whippets.
Yeah. We'll just have a station in the back corner selling balloons.
And that's the way you got to do it sometimes. Widespread Panic, and I'm sure that they play at Red Rocks all the time. Cookie, how far are you from Red Rocks?
I'm probably like 15 minutes from Red Rocks.
There's definitely some Widespread fans where you're at, Cookie.
Oh, 1,000%, man. There's some skit there. Yeah, there's a lot of bands that I do not know.
Bunch of wooks.
Yes. Bunch of random ass motherfuckers.
So there you go. I believe that's it. Do we? I don't think that I have any kind of crazy stories over the last 2 weeks. That's about it for me as well. Boys, last time we had an episode, it was about Lucha Libre wrestling, the Lucha Libre style. And to give myself an out, I made sure to pick one with an American wrestler, not necessarily a United States of America wrestler, but a North American wrestler. Actually, all of them are North American wrestlers. I sound like a really dumb person right now.
Come on now. Come on now.
I almost said it. I did not say it.
Got it though.
I did think it. So from Winnipeg, Manitoba, I'm off my game right now. Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Aaron, it's the Jews' fault.
It is. It's always. They're pulling the strings. So we have a Chris Jericho episode this week. Jesus Christ. Oh man, I'm off my game. Let's talk about the Ayatollah of rock and rolla. All right, for the first matchup of the evening, Big Mike, you have got one Chris Jericho against Lord William. This is actually William Regal, not Steven Regal.
Correct. This is from WrestleMania 17, April 1st, 2001, Houston, Texas. The match actually kicked off WrestleMania, and it is a match between Chris Jericho and the commissioner, William Regal. To give you some backstory, this clearly had been going back and forth for a while. Ultimate culmination, I think, was Chris Jericho peeing in Regal's teapot and Regal drinking it.
Yes.
And that led to this. And it was a thing. So
the PT was a big deal. PT, I don't want to drink PT. And Regal has this classic facial expression when he drinks it. He's got his teeth showing a little bit, and he just does that like, ugh.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He goes back for a second taste. Like he tastes it. Oh, that tastes a little off. Goes again. And then I think he realized it was urine.
What are the health benefits? Are there any health benefits from drinking urine?
I don't know. I think there's some people like some, on Facebook, I'm sure you can find a couple people that would think that's okay. I don't really think you should be drinking your own pee though.
Probably a cure for the COVIDs.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, you inject that into your fucking veins with your bleach and all that sort of shit. I'm sure somebody will find that out. Anyway, PT led to this. It was actually, for what it was like the perfect match. Kicked off for WrestleMania. It was for the Intercontinental Championship. Jericho is the current title holder, Commissioner Regal. And they go out there and it's literally like two old head wrestlers who know what the fuck they're doing. And they put on a 7-minute match just to kind of warm the crowd up. And it was actually pretty good. The whole time, Jericho was kind of playing on a left shoulder injury. I don't know if it had occurred before, but Regal was keying in on it. At one point, Regal actually takes the ring post pad off, just throwing Jericho into it. But I don't know how to describe it other than the fact that like it was just like good wrestling match. Like it wasn't, no high spots, which I think I'm okay with. And it told a little story. And ultimately, Jericho finishes off with a fucking lion salt. And it was great. It was perfect.
Throughout the match, yeah, he keys on that left shoulder. And Jericho, being a very good wrestler, sells it the entire time. He doesn't forget about it. He has that nagging him throughout the matchup. And I feel that it's a very simple story, but it was also, there was some counters. There's some fun, like little technical wrestling bits to it.
And at one point, like, Jericho goes for the walls of Jericho and Regal, like reverses it because of Jericho's injury. I will say it was Paul Heyman and Jim Ross on commentary for it. And I'm not a big fan of Paul Heyman on commentary. I feel like he talked too much. Jim Ross, though, is like, this is like peak Jim Ross. Like he's telling the whole story, letting you, like, if you didn't key in that Jericho was hurt, Jim Ross is letting you know and kind of kayfabing it. It's actually, he just does so good at that, which it really helps kind of just bring the reality to it. And I think Tony Schiavone is kind of doing that thing now with AEW.
I think so too.
Where like, even if they miss a move, like, oh, he didn't catch all of that, that might come back to, and doing all that sort of thing. Oh no, again, like it was like the perfect little wrestling match. I don't, it's not going to win any awards and it would probably be like a 3-star match, but like, it was just good.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
So for next week, one of our options, William Regal. We'll hear who else we have coming up. All right, for the Strong Style Cookie, you have a match that two of us were able to see live and in person. You have got Chris Jericho against MGK all fucking day, Nick Gage.
And I just want to open this up with, what was the energy like when Nick Gage was about to come out?
Can I tell you, like, live, and being somebody that does not appreciate Nick Gage that much, I understand Nick Gage. I get it. It's so dumb. He is also, there's just something about him. Yes. He's got that look in his eyes that you just look at him. He's just like, there's not a thought in your head, is there? But people love him.
Dude, it's that MDK like crew, man. Like they're almost scary because we're tailgating in the parking lot and they're gathering masses doing the MDK chant before doors, man. And then they get in the building and go wild. And then when he comes out, they go even crazier, man. And it's nuts. They all bought front row seats, man. And they're all throwing up their MDK signs.
I will say they are a much scarier and more violent version of the Juggalos.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
I'm sure there's a lot of crossover there as well. I mean, for sure.
I was going to say, if there was a death match between the Juggalos and MDK, who do you think would win?
Oh, I don't know. MDK for sure, but they're scary. But that's what drives Nick Gage, man. That's what makes him who he is like this hardcore underground fan base. Yeah. And just he gets them all amped up and it's like, oh, I'm going to do crazy shit for these crazy people.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. All right. We'll get to get to the Strong Style. Last time on the Strong Style, I gave Aaron a lot of shit for not giving me a full-length match. video. And this week I saw in the match description it said Jericho versus Gage, full in all caps.
That's right.
So let's see if Aaron's got it or not. He's going up against the Murder, Death, Kill Gang, MDK all day, Mr. GCW himself, and the guy who doesn't wear his bandana to an armed robbery because he wants to make sure the teller can hear him.
That's right. That's right. He's not the most vocal, person. So you have to be able to show your mouth when you're doing it, but he's got a slack jaw. So I don't know, like, if people could read his lips as well.
I agree. And he's missing one tooth. So, or like, I don't know what the hell. He's got like a half tooth
That's probably from drug use.
But probably. I didn't know he did drugs, honestly. I thought he was a very clean soul.
Yeah,
Why do you think
he's
robbed
born
a
again
bank?
Christian too.
What happened to his teeth? I mean, it's all drugs.
That's what happens when you do methamphetamine, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I would describe Nick Gage as the human personification of a possum. There's nothing cute about him. He's probably scurrying out at night to tip over trash cans in search of leftover pizza that Aaron threw out.
I feed him with my cat food out front.
You're saying Nick Gage is a North American marsupial?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%. That's exactly what Nick Gage looks like.
He's got a rat tail.
Yes, that is. Yeah. All right. This is the second labor of Jericho. And dear God, I was nervous for Jericho this entire match because I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. Aaron, how did you feel about Chris Jericho, Painmaker Chris Jericho, mind you, going into this match?
So, Cookie, so this is very recent. This is one of the most recent matches we've ever had on the show.
True.
And the fact that I can clearly look back into our archive and see there was the week leading up to this event. Me, Tolbert, Travis, and Byron all going to this event together in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're watching it and we're like, all right, so who does Chris Jericho have for his second labor of Jericho? None other than Nick Gage. So, and mind you, this is the first professional wrestling match I had seen live since the pandemic began. A real professional wrestling. This I'm not talking about going to a bowling alley parking lot. This is a real professional wrestling event. When I saw that it was Nick Gage, I know that Tolbert, Byron, and Travis were a lot more excited than I was. But then again, I thought about it and I'm like, I get to see one of the most bizarre matchups of all time live.
Yes.
I get to see Chris Jericho against Nick Gage, something that I never thought that I would ever want to see live. For me, this was more of a sideshow and something that I can say that I experienced in person.
Yes. And
Cookie, I also went in like 3 joints and like 8 beers deep. So yes. I was pumped by the time this match came around.
Can we explain to you also? Travis turned into Nick Gage during this matchup. He took over the spirit of Nick Gage, took over Travis, and Travis started talking like Nick Gage for the rest of the evening after this matchup. And he became Nick Gage, and sweet, lovable Travis became angry and mean throughout the rest of the night. He's like, "Nah, fuck you. Oh, MDK." And I'm like, "Travis, what are you doing?"
Oh my God. Can we get I need Travis on this podcast one day. I need to hear that impersonation of the human possum himself, Nick fucking Gage. I need to hear this.
It was quite disturbing, and I was taken aback by Travis doing that.
Dear God, Travis. What came over him? Was it just the music? Was it the light tubes, the blood? Is he
It was the perfect storm, Cook. It was the perfect storm.
It was the perfect storm. And then going out in Charlotte, he was still like that. We took a shot at some bar, and he was like, yeah. It was just scary.
Nick Gage isn't even dead, and he got possessed. Like Travis got possessed by Nick Gage.
Yeah.
Oh,
he hit Aaron with a light tube. I don't know where that came from.
It was frightening.
Well, let's go ahead and get to the countdown.
Cookie's very violent top 4. Number 1.
I remember seeing those light tubes come out, and in my mind, I said, "No way, Jericho at 45 is taking a light bulb to the noggin." And I was right. He first took a pizza cutter across his fucking forehead. And then we cut the commercial. And you see a pane of glass enter the ring and 2 chairs. So shout out to Tony Khan for making this semi look like a death match for national TV. It was better than your first attempt, Tony. Thank God there weren't any fireworks.
That's right. Number 2.
Jericho's Hurricane Rana from the top rope sending Nick Gage through that pane of glass. Chef's kiss. Flawless spot. Aaron, how did you feel when you saw that pane of glass come out? And Tolbert as well.
This is at the point where Aaron started to really get in the match. He was sitting beside me, and this is at the point where Aaron's very nervous, and he goes, "Holy shit!" Like we all did.
And so, and Tolbert, actually, all 3 of you can attest. When I'm watching, I'm at a professional wrestling event. I'm not the guy that's cheering the loudest. Yeah. I'm the guy that is sitting back, reserved, and absorbing everything. And I literally was screaming at this one, what the hell is this guy what is going on?
Jesus. Yeah, this was probably one of the bloodiest matches I feel like that I've witnessed personally on AEW.
Yes. On AEW, yes.
On AEW, yes. It was almost disgusting is what I'll say. Almost.
Number 3.
Light bulb to the back, light bulb to the forehead, pile driver into broken glass. And I never looked at one of those spots. This shit makes me turn my head, Aaron. It's just it's so grotesque. It's too violent almost. Just imagine being in bumfuck Delaware for one of those King of Deathmatch tournaments and having to sit through this shit for 24 hours. I don't know if I could stomach a full day of that, but anyway, Jericho kicked out. Do y'all think y'all can do it?
You would not be able to watch that, Cookie. But this week you were able to watch somebody get murdered by an automobile and you were fine with that?
Well, I said murdered because I didn't see what happened what happened afterwards. He did sit up. Out. He sat up. So, that was a good sign.
Did he sit up like the Undertaker?
I think he rolled a little bit to the right and then sat up. He rolled a little bit. It was like Undertaker now.
It's like you have dad strength. It's like homeless strength.
Yeah.
You're full of grit and tenacity, and you just get up after getting run over by a car.
Can we make a blood oath right now? If any of us were to get hit by a car, the blood oath is you have to sit up. No matter how you feel, sit up like the Undertaker.
Yes.
You have to do my back too. You have to do the.
The turn. You gotta do the turn.
I don't think I could do that now. The full sit up.
I think the homeless man got power to sit up from the 8 homeless people that scurried out from the 7-Eleven to come and help him. So.
Ironically, they were all repping MDK.
And honestly, they were all just like, he about to get paid.
Yes.
I got hit too. He hit me too.
Oh, jeez. All right. Honorable mentions. Okay. Jericho kicks out of all that. When Nick Gage had that broken light tube and started scraping it against Jericho's forehead, Jesus fucking Christ. Then he started stabbing him in the forehead. And you got MGK in the commentary saying, stab him, stab him, stab him. And it's just like, what the fuck am I watching? That's the first thing that was going through my head is I'm literally seeing someone get stabbed in the face with a light tube. I felt like Nick Gage was getting a little too excited, but I bet the crowd was going fucking crazy. Am I right or am I wrong, boys?
Yeah.
The
crowd was wild. Like the crowd did not shut up at all during this match. It was crazy.
This was last July, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I was trying to figure out where I was, and this was when I was in Maine.
You're in Maine. Yeah.
And I had them put this shit on the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You were at the sports bar.
That's right. Yeah. I do remember that.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because when he started stabbing him in the head, I remember the crowd went wild in the sports bar too.
I remember Jasmine, who was watching it with our young, impressionable kitten, and she was like, "What the hell is going on? This is disgusting."
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, that bloodthirsty crowd, that MDK group, they were loving that shit, and they wanted to see their boy Nick Gage win, right? And at one point, I thought Nick Gage was wrestling in Jordans. And then I was like, wait a minute, possums can't afford Jordans. So we're just going to go on to number 4.
Those were Payless Starberries.
I thought they were N1 sneakers for a second.
Number 4.
All right. The Painmaker using the green mist. Man, Great Muda. That's immediately who I thought of. But using the green mist, which from past episodes we've learned that causes a stinging/stunning sensation, giving Jericho enough time to grab a stack of light bulbs, I apologize, bust Gage over the head with them, and then hit the Judas effect for the win. My favorite shot, though, is at the end when Jericho is the winner. He's sitting in the corner, and he's holding that broken light tube right next to his face. And he's just waiting for MJF to come down that aisle so he can stab him with it.
I believe that judging by the past experiences of Nick Gage, Chris Jericho remembered that after you rob a bank, it's probably very close to a dye pack exploding in your face.
Yes.
So he knew that was his weakness was the dye pack in the eyes. So that's why he went for the green mist.
You know what, Aaron? It makes sense now. Jericho, genius, the Painmaker himself. All right. He ain't scared of no MGK or MDK, whatever the fuck their names are.
MGK, that's Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, I don't think MDK is dating like fucking movie stars.
Yeah, true. They're definitely not.
He's had some run-ins with some movie stars, and maybe we'll talk about that next week on $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast.
And Cook, I have to say one funny moment from this match. Who was it that was sitting at home? I think it was you, Mike. When Nick Gage does the pizza cutter spot in the mouth.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And it was a split screen, and it was a Domino's commercial.
That's right.
While Nick Gage is attacking Jericho with a pizza cutter.
I'm literally sitting in the sports bar, and I just remember going, that's hilarious. Like, did they not realize what was happening?
Great product placement there.
I'm sure Domino's does not want to be on TNT anymore.
It's a very pizza-centric episode of $2 Steak.
It is. But if you go to our Instagram, there's actually a little clip of Jericho hitting Nick Gage over the head with light tubes, and you can hear the row of us audibly freaking out, especially Travis.
Yeah. Because once again, I just want to reiterate, these two men are about 40 years old, or 45. I don't even know how old Jericho is now. He's pushing it, though.
He's close to 50. He might actually be 50.
That is insane to me that he took these bumps. He went through glass. He did all these crazy things just for the second of the 5 labors of Jericho. Much respect. This match gets 4 cookies. It was solid. MGK all day, or MDK. God damn it, not Machine Gun Kelly. Fuck Machine Gun Kelly. MDK all day, baby.
MDK all day, 4 cookies, and another one of our options for next week. And judging by the reaction that we are covering this match in our group chat, I believe that we're going to have to go with next week being a Nick Gage episode. I hate everything about it, but we're going to have to do it. I'm very.
Would this be our first featured exclusively deathmatch wrestler being covered?
Yeah. So yes. This is exactly what it is. So I'm not excited about it, but we will talk about it. And next week, Nick Gage episode. All right, for our final matchup of the evening in the high spot, Tolbert, you have got Chris Jericho against Goldberg.
Man, you gave me this match, and I was like, oh, I definitely watched this on TV. I wholeheartedly remember this. So this is Fall Brawl War Games 1998 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Oh, man, it's definitely very much a Winston-Salem crowd as well, for sure. This is peak NWO. Peak Goldberg, right in the middle of his undefeated streak after his debut. Man, this is prime wrestling time for a young Cole sitting in the living room. But this is a very, very young Jericho, Le Champion. He is a television champion at the time, I do believe. And this is when he's just that shit-causing heel. He's just always pulling tricks. He's getting into stuff. He's pissing in teapots. He's doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So he's we cut to a shot of his personal security guards, which one kind of looks like I don't know, Kyle Gass from Tenacious D.
That's
got like
Ralphus.
the half shirt. And you've got another smaller fellow. He's Jericho Ninja. He's a personal Jericho Ninja.
That's right.
He comes out with security detail. I love this spot. He can't figure out where the ring is. He's lost in the building as he comes out of the locker room.
It's so funny.
He's like, he goes into a dining hall. He goes out back, but the whole time the camera's on him. He's trying to play it off like he's searching the building.
Hello, Winston-Salem.
Let's rock.
He finally makes it out to the runway. And what makes this match so memorable for me is like, I love to hate him. I loved him as a wrestler, but at the time I loved him as a heel. But when he comes out and the dud pyro goes off, it just sends a little puff of smoke. His chef kiss.
So those were probably the North Carolina fireworks.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no projectiles.
You can't leave the ground.
You can't leave the ground. Oh, so here we go. He is on the books to wrestle the undefeated Goldberg, which is a heavy task at the time. So he comes out to the ring, and this is where we have the two rings back to back, you know. And at first you're like, oh man, this is gonna be crazy. Let's see what's gonna happen. The music hits, you know, that do that Goldberg music. Goldberg comes out, the pyro hits, but then the fog clears, and you're like, wait a second, that's not Goldberg. He's like 4 feet too short. It's Gilberg.
That's not Gilberg. That's the thing. That's not Gilberg.
I looked it up. I thought it was Goldberg.
It's not. I don't know who this is actually, but it's
But
not
it's
Gilberg.
Gilberg.
Before the Goldberg gimmick. This is a fake Goldberg, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not familiar with who Gilberg is, but this is a short, pudgy version of Goldberg with a fake tattoo adorning his gear. Another one of Jericho's tricks. He gets the ring, the bell rings, and let's go. He throws him around a little bit. He actually lets him get a spear in, which I was really surprised.
Right?
Yeah, Jericho lets him spear him. But he puts him in a lion tamer and taps him out real quick. He takes his fake championship belt, rips it apart, throws it into the crowd, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So just another cheeky little vignette of Jericho being Jericho back then, which is genius. Like, he was a great wrestler, and looking back on it, the stuff he did is just awesome. It's hilarious. It's great.
That was one of my favorite eras of Chris Jericho. Like his end of WCW run is some of the most fun and entertaining stuff. It's like you love to hate him.
Just constantly trolling everybody, trolling the crowd. It's just great. It's like every week you tuned in to see like what Le Champion's gonna do.
Right.
Armbar.
Armbar.
That was another option. There was a couple of Malenko things that I wanted to do, and there was like I honestly wanted to do some other matches for you, but once I saw fake Goldberg and then I saw the lead up to it, him walking through the arena, I'm like, this is gold. We have to watch this.
Yeah. All right. So time for the HighKu, I suppose. The streak on the line. Jericho can't find his way. Goldberg gets the dud. Looks like you, Poindexter.
You got the dud.
That's a Simpsons reference for you there, Mike. I'm
That's
sure
right.
you weren't allowed to watch that either.
No, we actually did watch the Simpsons a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember when I dressed up as the dud for Halloween a couple
it
years
was
ago?
wonderful. Aaron actually painted his whole body yellow.
That's right.
And dyed his hair blue to look like Millhouse.
Well, he looks like you, Poindexter. Yeah, I was the dud for Halloween. So there you go. So next week on $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast, quite possibly the bloodiest episode we've ever done, the dumbest episode we've ever done, and we're going to have Nick Gage all effing day. I'm excited about it. I know you guys are. Any final thoughts on Chris Jericho week, boys?
We gotta love the Ayatollah of rock and roller, man.
Good. I'm glad somebody said something. So
There you go. You got it.
Fuzzy rules, man.
Long live Jericho. Le Champion.
I was listening. Sorry, Aaron, one more thing. I was listening to a funny YouTube video. I have to send it to you. And it's to stuff the audio it picks up the crowd, the audio, the crowd noises and stuff, what they yell at wrestlers. And one of them was Chris Jericho, and this guy yelling, "Fozzy was the best Muppet. Fuck you. You ruined him."
Yeah, he did. He did. Well, thank you for listening to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast. Next week, Nick effing Gage. All right, there you go, boys. Thank you.